Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Connect Your Community. Connect Your Community is a program that's going to let you know how you can get connected. And what I'm talking about when I say connected is connected with the internet, computers, and the training to make the most use of that. And with me today is Sherry Knowles, the program administrator for Connect Your Community. Welcome, Sherry.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show today.
That's terrific that you can be here and let us know a little bit about this program. There's a buzz in Manatee County about this program. I happen to know because I am an instructor. I'm part of the core team for Connect Your Community. And we wanted to make this show to let people just know a little bit more of the details about what Connect Your Community is, who can take advantage of it, and what they can hopefully get out of it to benefit themselves both educationally and economically in their futures. So how did it all get started?
Actually, the Connect Your Community is part of a national grant through the 2009 Recovery Act, that federal money that actually provides training here in the community, that we're actually able to take adults that are in need of either internet access, basic computer training, or a computer. So they come in, we train them, and we help them to get that access that they do not have to help close that digital divide in Manatee County that we're seeing that is affecting people not only educationally, but their workforce, their access to community services. Today you can't even order a prescription without going online. So we want everyone to have that access.
And so this came about through a federal stimulus grant program, as you said. How did Manatee County get included in this program?
Actually, Mary Glass, the executive director from the Manatee Education Foundation, found out about the grant, applied for it, was granted this opportunity, and from there the school board supported her. We've had community providers that have supported. Bright House Network stepped up to be our internet provider for our local community. The CCRA, which is the Central Community Redevelopment Agency, the 13th Avenue Dream Center, Boys and Girls Club, many of the local community agencies and centers have stepped right in to help us.
So this started as a real grassroots initiative. I know in the very beginning it started from non-existent into what it is now, which is already 1 year through the 2-year grant program. And you've mentioned several of the partners and the locations that are now serving the community and helping the CYC program get the training out there. What is the training course really all about?
It starts from the very, very beginning, how to turn on a computer, how to use a mouse, what's the difference between hardware and software. It goes from the very beginning. A lot of us are computer users and we've never had that fundamental training, so we found people that have never ever turned a computer on. They are our primary group, but we also have people that are using some parts of computer skills, but they've never had that foundation, so that foundation is the basics that we're teaching.
And I believe that what I've heard from many of the people that have come into the program, that there really is not a lot of other places, even at a cost, and this is a free course that CYC is offering, that are providing that very, very basic level training. Most of the computer courses that I've heard some people say they'd like to get into, you need some skills to at least be able to do that. So this is really filling a niche in the community that basically is not too filled right now with other educational opportunities. Why is this program targeting adults?
We're finding that the students are learning the computer skills at home in the day-to-day lessons at school. But if they go home and they don't have that computer access at home, and if their parents don't have those skills to support them, they're not able to provide that support they need. This is becoming a digital world. We need to have it everywhere we go. I mean, I go from my cell phone to my iPad to my computer, and I'm finding that people that don't have that access are missing out on a great deal of information, communication, things that they need for a day-to-day, works and day-to-day communication with their friends and family.
That's true, and I've found the people that are coming into my class are getting referred from employment agencies, from agencies that used to provide service or that still do provide service, but even to get that assistance, you need to do it online.
Yes.
And that was an interesting thing you told me at the very beginning, that you saw a sign at the CCRA.
Yes.
And what did it say?
It says, if you need assistance with your electric bill, you must go online. So we laugh about that. You may have your electric turned off, so you may not have an opportunity to go online. And we're also trying to take off some of the burden of the public libraries and the other public access so that we can have community centers throughout the community, and that we have people that are not going into these sites of saying, I need help, what do I do? We want them to be able to have those basic skills that they can use on a day-to-day basis.
And I know later in the program we're going to talk more specifically about those community sites and where people can go to get that training and how they can proceed to reach out and get enrolled in a class if they want to do that. We're going to have one of our terrific instructors on, Janine Campbell, and a couple of graduates coming up. So we just have a little bit of time left. Sherry, what's going to be on the horizon for the next year of this, the remaining year of this grant?
We are really going to focus on the parents of our students in the Manatee County schools. We really want all of our students to be able to go home and have that same access that they have at school. We're finding that if they don't have internet access, they're not able to do the research they need. Anyone that needs additional support, you can actually do FCAT practice online at home. And parents that don't have that to be able to provide for their students are feeling that pressure. So we want, our primary goal for the next year is going to be parents of students in Manatee County schools.
Okay, very good. Well, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have Janine Campbell, one of the core team members and instructor who's been through the training since the very beginning, up here with us. Please don't go away.
Computers, the internet, something many of us take for granted, but for some they are out of reach either because of affordability or because they're in need of basic computer skills. Connect Your Community offers free training in computer literacy and provides assistance to get new users equipped and connected.
I wanted to know more about the computer. You don't have the knowledge, you're going to be left behind.
Day and evening classes are offered in many community centers in Manatee County. Isn't it time you got connected?
Welcome back to Connect Your Community. I'm Amy Vandell, and with me now is Janine Campbell. And Janine is one of the Connect Your Community core team members. She's been teaching for quite a while now. So Janine, tell me a little bit about how you got interested in this program and why you applied for this position.
Well, I applied for the position because I saw that I would be able to work with people in the community. I love doing community outreach and I love helping people. And so I also like meeting new people. So that those three combined, I found in this job.
Very good, yes. And I know I actually attended your class when I first was being considered to be an instructor in this position as well. And it's really a diverse group of people that come and take the class. Tell me what a typical class entails.
I could have a senior citizen that is like 80 years old, and I could have an 18-year-old that has a lot of experience, and the senior citizen might not have none, might be fresh to computers. But we all come together, all the classmates help each other, and we have a good time in computer class. It's not just sitting like you're in high school or elementary and you're bored and you want this to be over. We have a fun time in my class and we're still learning.
And you really do generate that teamwork in your class,
yes.
And everybody helping each other. And I've
yes.
tried to imitate that or model that in my classes as well. And it makes them more relaxed. And there is a certain fear factor for people who've never had any experience with computers.
Yes.
How do you help them get over that?
Well, during the first, some of the first modules, like the mouse basics, we tell them to touch the mouse, get comfortable with the mouse, put your hand on the mouse, because we have people that come in that are newbies and they have never sat at a computer and they're afraid of the mouse because of the word mouse. And so we allow them to get comfortable with the mouse and, not be afraid. the fear factor is the most important thing to get over. So once they get over that fear of actually being in front of a computer, then they can learn.
Right. And it's also that fear. These are people who sometimes have been very successful in their lives,
Right.
May have gone through some job changes of late in this economy. They're now possibly out of work and looking to retrain for something totally new at an age when they probably didn't expect maybe that they were going to be doing that.
Right.
Part of it is getting over, being willing to accept that you're going to make mistakes too.
Right. Right. We get over the mistakes. It's okay to make the mistakes because you're learning. So you will make some mistakes. I can't get to, I usually have a full class of 20 students, so I can't get to everyone. And so at the beginning of the class, we get to know each other. We do a group. We just introduce each other, skill level, what brought you to this class. And so they identify. I noticed that they link up with different people that they know, oh, okay, I can get this help. But I've also seen people walk around the classroom just to go and help someone that needs help.
And when you talk about needing help, we do have an opportunity for people who do graduate from the program to come back. And what do they do?
They come back and they volunteer. They might come back saying, I want to retake the course because it's something I just want to learn more. But they're up, they're helping and they're volunteering. They realize that, oh, I can do this. I didn't think I learned this, but I know this. And so they're going out and that builds their confidence level.
And reinforces their skills. And obviously with 20 people, many of them are brand new, that gives you a tremendous amount of help in the class.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, now you're teaching at the Central Community Redevelopment Agency.
Yes.
Where is that? What's the facility like? And what's your interaction with that agency?
CCRA is located on 302 Manatee Avenue East in Bradenton. It's like catty corner towards the Manatee Memorial Hospital. And what they do have a lot of programs there to help people in the community. So what happens is people come in for their services and they see the signs as far as computer classes and they sign up. We keep supply of cards and registrations, or the class gets interrupted a lot because people are coming in and saying, okay, how can I sign up? Recently, there was an article done on CCRA as far as their 10-year anniversary, and that just really blossomed a lot of people just walking in and asking about the Connect Your Community program because they didn't know that there was a program to actually help them to learn the skills. I have a lot of parents that come in, they want to help their kids.
Right.
And that's who we're geared towards, the parents, to help them to get that computer in their home so that they can help their children.
Very good. And now tell the folks a little bit, how long is the class? How many days do they come? And what happens when the class is over, or the last class?
Okay. Well, my classes, I have 3 different levels. I teach an accelerated class, which is 1 week, Monday through Friday. That is generally like 18 hours. You have to have some kind of experience to get in that class. And then there's a 2-week morning basic class that I teach. And then now there's a 2-night basic class. So the night classes usually last over a month. But the big thing is graduation day. We have graduation and we have potluck. Well, I've had some graduates like, what is potluck? And so we have to, explain what potluck is. Well, everyone brings a dish. We all fellowship. We all talk about the class. The ones that have gained friendships in the class, you see that blossoming. People that have businesses, they talk about those businesses, and then we get real testimonies, and sometimes they make us cry. The testimonies for how things have happened and how much the computer lessons have taught them and what they meant to them.
And you've even had like 3 generations in one class, I heard?
Yes, I've had a grandmother, a mom, and a daughter. And they keep coming back. They refer, if friends and family come to graduation, they're filling out survey cards to get into the class because they, just so overwhelmed about what happened and the changes that happened in their loved one's life that they want the opportunity as well. So as long as they meet the requirements, they are in the class to get the learning and the support.
And now tell us a little bit about the support. I know we're going to go a little bit longer in your segment, but I know it's important that we get out to the public that the class is really just a third of a 3-part initiative of Connect Your Community to get trained, but then also to get equipped and get connected. Can you tell us about the equipped and the connected part?
Okay. Equipped is really special for me. It can get, overwhelming, but just to see someone go and get their first computer and the pride that they have when they're walking out the store with that computer, their shoulders are up, their head is high, and they're walking out and they're so happy about their first computer. I really love that part of the job. I get testimonies of how I've actually helped that person. I've had 2 people that are fighting cancer, and I'm walking out of Walmart crying because of what they're telling me, the effect that I made, that I helped on their lives.
Wonderful.
Just by a computer class. Support, if there's a problem, if Ms. Campbell, I don't know how to do this attachment, or Ms. Campbell, I don't, they call. They text me on my cell phone, or they call the office number. If they need help setting up the computer, that's support. If they need help finding a website, that's support. Whatever is connected to the computer and learning, that's the support that
Fantastic.
we give.
Well, Janine, thank you so much for coming on and telling us the real inside scoop on the Connect Your Community class. It's been great having you. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by a couple of graduates right up here, one of them who took Janine's class. Please stay tuned. And welcome back to Connect Your Community. I'm Amy Vandell, and joined with me now, in addition to Janine Campbell, is Mr. Warren Mingleton and Bert Lawton. They're both from the city of Bradenton and graduates of the Connect Your Community program. Mr. Singleton, or should I say Warren? Warren, okay. Tell me why the city of Bradenton thought it was important to get some of their employees involved in this program.
Because the city of Bradenton, especially in the supervisory level, all their communications is through computers. And also one of the biggest things is our access to communicate is through email. So what did they want to do so they can complete that and we can develop skills in that? They wanted us to go to get a higher learning so we could develop skills. And so we could be a part of the communication through our inner departments, and so everyone would know.
So this program has proved very beneficial in that regard, in conjunction and in partnership with the city of Bradenton.
Oh, yes, it has. I can speak of our department and our supervisory level. One of the things is when we were using our computers and emails, we was getting by. But now, since we have the proper training, we have developed skills where we can, communicate to inner departments through confidence, and now we can be more efficient.
Very good, very good. Well, Janine, you were starting to tell me a little bit in the break about what it was like when they first got enrolled. What was their orientation like?
I walked into a room full of men and maybe 2 women. And when I walked in, it's like they just stopped talking and just looked, and I'm like, oh,
How many people were there?
It was at least 60.
60?
Yes.
All saying, what are we going to do?
So that was a little shocking to get over, and during orientation, and I asked for the paperwork to be brought up, the registration forms and everyone wanted to be in the first class. So
obviously that wasn't possible.
No, that wasn't possible, so I let the supervisors choose who was going to come into the first class. So that caused a little bit of dissatisfaction, but everyone got through the class.
Very good. So obviously there were several classes with
Yes.
with Bradenton employees in, and you were in one of those.
Yes, I was in
Bert,
the first
and that was
classes.
almost a year ago.
Yes, yes.
And what did you think of the class?
It was very beneficial to me. With the entry level that I was in and supervisor, I was introduced to the computers. And so a lot of my work as far as data and keeping up with information that we do on a daily basis, it was entered into the computer, so I needed to know the basic fundamentals of entering that information to the computer. So I learned that, and it was very beneficial to me. It helped me out a lot.
Terrific, terrific. And what department are you with?
I'm in the street department.
In the street department.
City of Bradenton.
For the city of Bradenton, great. And have many people in your department taken the class?
Just the supervisor.
The supervisors at this point. Very good, very good.
Well, we've had some that have come on their own in the night that couldn't come during the day when the supervisors came. So we've had some City of Bradenton employees from the Public Works Department that have come on their own because they heard about the class and they wanted to come and get the benefits of taking the class.
So the supervisor started off with classes
Yes.
during the day, but then the word spread, as we
Yes.
have found
Yes.
so often
Yes.
is
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
The word of mouth has really been the main way that a lot of people are hearing about this class, and it's from all over. Warren, tell us a little bit about your class. How was Janine as an instructor?
Well, my class was very interesting. I knew Janine prior to coming to that class, so it gave me a little being relaxed because I knew her. But after having the receiving teaching from Janine, she was very patient with us. And one thing I like about her, when she was teaching, she allowed time for us to ask questions. And also things we didn't understand, she gave us hands-on training and made sure that we understood. And she sometimes paused to make sure that we understood what she was saying. So that kind of relaxed me and helped me to understand the class and understand what we was learning and to help develop my skills.
Very good. You know, and we've heard so much from people who knew how to use computers in their work, but they only knew how to do that limited thing that they were trained to do just for their job function. And I think that's what's a wonderful part of this class, is that you get the big picture. And Janine does such a good job of also showing a lot of fun things. Tell the folks a little bit about some of the fun things that you make sure that people learn how to do while they're in the class, because it can't be all about work.
No, I introduced them to sites where they can listen to music, internet radio. They love that because of the fact that whatever genre of music that you love, you can make a custom your own radio station and listen to music 24 hours a day. Also, I introduced them to websites that they can watch TV. Television sitcoms, like, you know, things that you saw in the 50s and 60s. You can watch those on the internet, as well as, you know, going back and watching soap operas that you missed. You know, that option is available to you on the internet. Also, I like to tell educational sites. I've had 10 years of education experience before I came to work here. My background went from one age spectrum to the other. I was a preschool instructor in my home. I had a family child care business, so that's where all the patient that Warren was talking about, that's where that comes from. I generated that through working with kids. And so I do education sites, especially if there's a parent that comes in. I tell them about infant toddler websites that they can actually sit in front of the computer with their child, so that gives them that one-on-one time with their child, even though that child is a baby. They can use that computer for that, and some of them they brighten up because they didn't know that option was available, and that's online for free as well. I try to make sure that I give them the sites that are free, that they don't have to pay anything for, and it's available. We teach them how to search for sites, search for different websites, search for things that they want to learn. And just to further their education, you know, we do basic Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Some that I tell them that they're going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation on themselves the first day of class, and they have that fear. But when we're doing, that's one of the last classes that we're doing, and they're, you know, adding music, they're adding pictures, they're adding animation to the pictures and the words, and they're just real involved in that PowerPoint and presentation. And I let them do, at that time I sit back and I watch. And I let them figure out, because I'm not going to be there with them when they go home.
Right.
So I give them that opportunity that I'm not right there by their side during the last couple classes. So,
and that's really instilling the confidence
right.
that is needed to continue their learning. And I know you do a great job of letting them know about the free sites. I certainly learned that when I was in your class. Bert, did you find that now you're doing more things personally on the computer?
Oh yeah.
What do you like to search personally for?
I'm always Googling, finding out information, getting it, just something simple as just reading the Bible, reading verses out of the Bible through your computer.
Really?
You can go in there, you know. Last night I was looking up on the Clearwater Jazz Fest. And I was trying to find out the lineup for tonight, because I'm going over tonight to see Brian Coverson. So, you know, I listened to a little samples of his music tonight for tonight. So, you know, it was very helpful.
That's great. Yes. So that is a perfect example of how this isn't just enriching people for their economic gain or their education, but personally too. And that's really a key factor of just knowing that this resource, which has so much information, is accessible and free once you do get the training, and know that you can look there, you can Google almost anything, you can find the answers.
Yes, Google is a great thing. We actually have the students Google themselves as one of the activities in the course, and they Google themselves. They like, oh, how this information get on the internet? If there's anything public, it's on the internet. But they also see that their name is associated with someone that's a well-known doctor or philanthropist or you know, an artist, and they get real excited. I had a graduate that thought her name was of French origin, but found out it was German, and that there was a flower actually. She was named after a flower, and so she installed that into her PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. So the entertainment, like Bert was saying, as far as the just entertainment. I mean, you could buy movie tickets online. You can, you know,
get coupons.
Yes. We go and we find coupons. I actually found a coupon online to help one of the students. She got an extra $50 off, and that was just by going on the site, and I was able to, you know, print that one coupon. And, you know, that just, you know, she's like, oh, I'm going to look for more coupons. So it's a lot out there on the internet that is accessible for our knowledge and for our entertainment, our personal use. But one of the things as far as personal, in Excel, we teach them how to do a budget.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that knowledge of how, and they're afraid of doing a budget. But we do an annual budget in, you know, less than 3 hours. You know, sometimes we get through that budget in an hour, and they're like, oh, this is what I always wanted to learn how to do.
Right, and then they have it saved because we let them keep this information on a flash drive, which is a great tool to learn how to actually retain what you've learned and go back to it, which is a great little item to have too. Well, there's so much more that we could talk about. I really appreciate you gentlemen coming on.
Thank you.
Keep sending people to the course.
We will.
Okay.
It's been very helpful.
And Janine, I know there's so much more. I'm sure you'll be back on another show, but I think we are about out of time, and we will be back with Sherry Knowles in just a minute to close up and tell you what's coming next. Stay tuned.
Computers, the internet, something many of us take for granted, but for some, they are out of reach either because of affordability or because they are in need of basic computer skills. Connect Your Community offers free training in computer literacy and provides assistance to get new users equipped and connected to the internet. Day and evening classes are offered in many community centers in Manatee County. Call 751-6550, extension 2292. Isn't it time you got connected?
And welcome back. Again, this is Amy Vandell, and back with me is Sherry Knowles, Program Administrator for Connect Your Community. Sherry, Janine touched on how beneficial it is when that person gets their first computer. Can you tell us a little bit more about how CYC helps with that process?
Actually, we have two options. A person can go, the most economical way to purchase a computer is obviously refurbished. We have refurbished computers that have been donated by local businesses and by the school district. They have been donated to Hurricane Computers, who is a small business right here in Manatee County. Two young guys that graduated from Manatee High and opened up a store. So they have been excellent partners. They come to our class. They help students understand the difference between and the benefits of a refurbished computer compared to a new. They explain it very much like buying a used car. Not everyone needs a new car. Refurbished cars, discounted, have that discount the minute they drive off the lot. So we're very happy to be able to work with Hurricane Computers for our refurbished. What we do there is we're able to provide financial assistance that brings the price down so that a person can buy a computer anywhere from between $25 and $150 for a desktop or a laptop. We also provide gift cards to the local news stores, I shouldn't say news stores, but to the local retail stores like Best Buy, Office Max, Office Depot, Walmart. What we do there is we watch the ads every Sunday. We find which store has the best sale that week, and we encourage people to buy that way if they like to. An extra benefit we have from the Suncoast Schools Federal Credit Union is anyone that is a parent of a Manatee County school student is able to get additional financial assistance through the credit union. So that really helps to bring those prices down so that they make them much more affordable.
I know people just really don't realize that in this program you can have a totally functioning broadband capable computer for, like you said, under $150, sometimes as low as $25.
Yes.
So this is really doing a wonderful service to the community. Now, what about the connection? Obviously, they do need to get connected to the internet.
Yes, and each graduate has an option of which local provider they would like to go with, but we do have a special partnership with Bright House Networks here in Manatee County that they offer a 50% off internet discount for up to 2 years. That is wonderful. It actually happens to be the best internet connection from all of the 8 cities that are part of the Connect Your Community project.
And that has to be if they're not a current customer, obviously, and have not been
Yes.
connected with Bright House Internet in the past. And then for those I know who don't have the ability to sustain that reoccurring charge, some of those folks that are out of work and really do not have the economic ability, they become community connects.
Yes.
And use the facilities which CYC has been helping to make available more in the community where there's public computers available for them
Right.
to use as well. What do you see coming up in future shows that we'll be covering?
I really think it's, we've seen our city workers, the benefits that they've had in their day-to-day job. I'd like to bring on some parents to see how do they see the benefits of having that computer at home. How does it help them help their child in school? So they understand what their what their child is doing at school, but they also are able to provide that internet access at home that their child may need to be able to be successful at school.
Very good. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our very first show, and thank you again, Sherry, for coming on.
My pleasure.
Encourage you to Connect Your Community. The number is on the screen, and we look forward to seeing you in class.